Welcome back to the LEC. After this crazy last game, Misfits finally take the revenge on G2 after the first game that happened between them during the split. Shlatan, thank you so much for joining me. Any few words on this game, please?
Any words? Yeah, we won, I guess. Like, it was really hard game at the early game, and then they just kept throwing all the time. So we got it back in the end, but I'm not really like happy with how the game went, right?
All right.
I was feeling not the best in the game.
You get a W in the end, and there's something about Misfits coming back from deficits, but you mentioned the early game. I was actually feeling super bad for you given the invades that Jankos put you through. Talk me through your early game and what it took for you to get back in the game after what he did to you.
So basically I was thinking if they're gonna like late invade me, level 1, and I was like, we have better level 1, they're not gonna do it. And then they went anyway, then I got like behind from that. And then the worst part comes because if you got late invade level 1 and then you have like 3 losing lanes without priors, then the hard times begins and I can't like farm anything. And my camp timers like were really bad. So yeah, it was hard from like that moment. And then they just kept snowballing pretty well. They did like really good with heralds. Like they didn't do drakes, I guess, but they took every turret and they were like killing us and taking every plate. And yeah, then they just, I don't know if they had fun in the end or what they were playing for, but it felt like they are not playing serious at the end and just threw a lot, you know, gave us shutdowns, and that's how we came back.
Maybe losing their track of thoughts and not knowing what to do, but also you being able to capitalize on all that. And I remember the first game you played with them, it was actually the same situation, but you couldn't just put it through and get the win in the end. So what was different this time, especially in the mindset and the communication all around to just stay focused?
Well, I think it was like pretty similar, just the difference, as you said, like maybe we were more focused at the end because even the first game against them, like we were really behind as well. We also had like worse early game and we played bad early game, but then we could finish the Nexus. Like they gave us so much free time and they threw the game and we could finish the Nexus, but we just, I don't know, we just like Neon did something stupid, I did something stupid, everyone did something stupid. But this game we were more focused at the end, I guess. Yeah. So we came back, we got them in the second half,
Turned out, and that's what matters in the end. But Shlatan, there's something about Misfits thriving in bad situations, I want to say. Usually guys play from a deficit more often than with a lead. How do you explain that and the fact that you're so good playing from behind?
I mean, I don't have anything like specific like that. I think we're like good at playing from behind. I think it just comes from the like enemy team giving us too much maybe free time or like just inting, honestly. Like they were just inting. Same for their first game. It wasn't like they like played really good or something and they just came back, but they were just inting. So yeah, I mean, I just hope we get better at early games and then I hope the LEC teams will still keep inting and then we can get more wins.
All right. Int aside, you mentioned the early game, and I think it's interesting. You just got playoffs here, and before the interview, you were telling me that you don't care actually about making playoffs. I feel that being the perfectionist you are, you want to be at your top form reaching playoffs. So you mentioned the early game getting better. What else do you want to improve on to be ready for playoffs?
Just I don't know, like being more confident, maybe playing on stage, playing more stage games. Maybe this will help me as well. And I think like we need to work on like our teamwork because it just feels like we are more playing as individuals than a team yet. But I hope with screen time it will get better. And yeah, that's it.
Mentioning stage, do you think you play better on stage? It's different from player to player.
I know it's like just different. I know like I feel like I play worse because like the setup is actually different. So maybe with time it will be better.
All right.
But it feels worse for now.
Well, it feels really good having you guys back in the studio, of course. Last question for you. We're going to have Vitio in PGL in just a few minutes. He's been popping off lately, really. What's your take on his success and improvements over the split?
Yeah, I mean, like last year I was in Academy, right, at Misfits, and I saw him playing, and he was pretty good, right, with his Zoe. He was one trick back then, and he was playing really good in LEC with this time, but overall he wasn't as good as right now. He improved so much. He went to Korea to do his boot camp. And I don't know, he just put so much effort, maybe that's why he's way better now. And yeah, I'm happy to play with him.
And a good jungler paired with him, of course. Shlatan, thank you so much for the interview. Congrats on making your first LEC playoffs. And we're going to take a short break now and we'll be back with Vitio and Shux for the post-game lobby. Actually, it's right now. Take it away, Shux.